So you're probably watching today's video because you're looking to buy one of these. Good choice. We're gonna be talking about everything you need to know about buying a used or new Polaris Patriot 850. So the first model year of the Patriot 850 was 2019. My sled right here is a 2019. The first model year of anything is very hit or miss, and my 850 being a 2019, being a first model year, was no exception to that. So what are some of the common issues with the 2019 850s? And keep in mind guys, as the model year went on, the 2020s and the 2021s, they found these issues after the first model year run and corrected them as time goes on. So the newer your 850 is, the less chances it's gonna have of having these issues. Let's talk about the notorious most common issue on these 850s I'm sure everyone heard about, and it was the bog. Let me tell you guys, spending all this money on a brand new sled, being so excited to get out, use it, and to realize you can't use it to its full potential because it bogs out, it was the worst feeling ever. The whole mess of things caused the bog issue on the Polaris Patriot 850. Anything from bad plugs, to your fuel settings being wrong, to needing an ECU reflash. Another issue that was talked about on forums and Facebook pages was the PTO side crank bearing failure. That caused a lot of these motors to self-detonate, which would really suck buying one of these motors. But in the 2020 model year, they fixed that for 2020 and 2021, so it's more of like a 2019 exclusive issue. Crankshaft bearing failure was another issue on these, not as common as the PTO side crank bearing, but it was still an issue on these 850s. And like I said, that was another thing that was corrected in 2020 and 2021. So it's more of a 2019 exclusive issue once again. And here's a recall I grabbed from Polaris's website. It says Polaris is recalling 2019 Polaris 850 switchback, Pro RMK, and SKS snow mills as fitting attaching the fuel pump flange assembly may crack, which may allow fuel to leak. The recall impacts approximately 250 sleds. So out of all the 850s they sold that year, only 250 are affected, but it's still something worth noting. You don't want your fuel leaking because that could cause a fire, or who knows what else that could cause. You just don't want your fuel leaking. But that was another issue with the 850s. Obviously, once again, they corrected that for the 2020s and 2021s. So these are the most common, most talked about issues that majority of people that are looking into these sleds or owns these sleds knows about. Obviously, there's gonna be more. There's gonna be some stuff that nobody talks about, some very weird, quirky things that may happen with these sleds, but these are the most common. Like I mentioned before, my sled had the bog, and what fixed that was a 2020 ECU reflash. So some common things you wanna ask when you're looking to buy a used 850 off of someone is ask if it's been reflashed or if it has had a ECU flash of some sort, because I know my issue was, like I mentioned, the ECU flash causing it to bog. So it'd be a good thing to know if your ECU is up to date and reflashed with the newer tune. Another good question to ask is, did it ever have the bog? That's just something good to know in general if it had issues when it was new. Especially if this is the first owner you're buying it off of. This should be said anyways when you're buying a used anything, but ask if it's had any motor work done or any major motor issues. I know I mentioned the fuel line recall. Ask if this sled was one of the recall sleds and if he had the recall fixed. And if it wasn't, I'm pretty sure you could just grab the VIN, go on Polaris's website, and it'll let you know if your sled was a part of that recall or not. But that's something else you want to be aware of. Another good question to ask, or I mean you can look for yourself honestly, is what was the production date of your sled? Because I know the early 2019 850s had more issues than the late model 2019 850s. So if you have a late model 2019 850, you're probably in better shape for the little bog issues and all those other little things opposed to the early models. Another thing you're going to want to ask is, was there any aftermarket parts or aftermarket tunes on it? And aftermarket parts being like clutch kits, gear down kits, pipes, cans, anything along the line that is going to affect the motor or could affect the motor down the line. And another general question you should ask when you're buying anything used is, have you had any issues with it? Now, if the seller's gonna be honest with you or not, I can't tell you, but you definitely at least wanna ask the question and see if they're gonna be honest or not, and kind of see what you're getting into and see what the sled is actually about. Another great thing to ask is if the sled is still under warranty and if the warranty is transferable to you. I know on Polaris sleds, you could transfer the warranty to an owner if you sell the sled, if it's within warranty. You just wanna make sure the owner still has a warranty and that they will be able to help you transfer it over to you. So there are the common issues with the Polaris Patriot 850 and everything you need to be on the lookout for when you're buying your used 850. Hopefully this helps you guys out with your sled search. This video helped you guys out today. Smash a huge thumbs up on the video. If you guys have any other tips on buying a used 850 or used snowmobile in general, go ahead and drop them in the comments below and see if you can help someone out. If you guys are new here or you've been watching for a while and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I will catch you guys next video. Peace out.
Aye, foot on the gas, living too fast, it's not where you been, nah, boy, where you at, don't tell me relax.